patience is his, but I'ma do it first.
What's up, and yo, what's up? Party people, this is your boy, Deacon the Django, and we are back again with another episode.
Now if he made you cry, oh, I gotta know he's not ready to die. He best prepare for it. My judgment's divine. I'm
We are
praying
here
who you
again,
can
of course, to
call.
give you guys your Friday shenanigans. And I want to thank everybody for joining us in today. You know, I tell you, boy, if it ain't one thing, it's another. So today, I want to, of course, say shout out to my main man over here. You got, what you got to have?
What's
it's
up?
warm out there. Head Sanford, how you doing?
All right. It was kind of cold this morning, so I had to.
It was kind of cold. You been running?
No.
Okay, you ain't been running. Okay, yeah, okay. My man Head Sanford, he's on the spot. And then, of course, I got my man over here. He's over on the wheel still. My dude.
What's up, gentlemen? How you doing? All that good stuff.
The angry black man. Yeah, he calm today. You okay?
It's a bubbling cauldron.
It's a bubbling cauldron of coming up.
Yeah, there you go.
That kind of stuff there. And I see my boy Yusuf. He's up there. What's up, my dude? And of course, my homegirl Nikki Jordan. She's on spot. And we're going to get ready to go in today. We got a good little topic we want to talk about. We got, of course, some trending because every week in this country, you never know what is going to go on. I mean, it's like, are we in a reality show country now at this point?
It's close.
We're about close to
Especially
it. And
when
we got
we
a reality show president
Right.
with a reality show country. And every week, you never know next what's going to happen. So, you know, and I see my boy, yeah, Yusuf, I see you, boy. Me and him go back like fix a flat and spinal cords from back in the day in Brooklyn. So we want to thank everybody for joining us in today. For you guys, we're going to be talking about an interesting topic, which of course is what we call our post-Valentine's Day mess. It is, what is it, the friend zone versus the friends with benefits zone. And which one is worse? You play at your own risk. So we were sitting around here talking about it. And today we're going to do what we call a viewer participation show, where our people should be calling in if you want to talk on this. So I'm waiting on, hopefully Nat Cat will get somewhere in here somehow. You know, that girl, I'll tell you, I could go and drive her with a fish sandwich. Come up here, that'd be something. I don't know. But for your guys who are listening in, we are looking for another female co-host versus she had to go on back to the land of work. So, I got to get us another lady up here. Fortunately, me and Head Sanford, we've got kind of liberal schedules, so we can be up here on Friday afternoon. But if you think you got what it takes to come down here and give Friday morning shenanigans every Friday at 11 a.m., ladies, we are looking for you to come in here and be part of our mess. How about that? That's what we're doing. So for those guys that are talking, we're talking about the friend zone versus the friends with benefits zone. And let me ask you a question, because we put this out, and a lot of people try to stay away from it because a lot of people didn't want to tell on themselves, I guess. In your opinion, Head Sanford, which do you think is kind of worse when you're dealing with somebody, to get put in the friend zone or get put in the friends with benefits zone?
Friend zone.
The friend zone?
Yeah, because usually they don't. If a woman does that, she really ain't into you, in my opinion.
She not into you?
Nah.
What's her like? My boy Langston said friend zone, huh?
Yeah, a lot of times she'll just keep you around, so she can talk to you about her problems.
I ain't got time for that.
You can pay for her
I'm
date.
not
Pay for her
fixing my
meals.
life. I'm not about to fix your life. I'm not about to fix your life. I'm not about to fix your life. No. And for those of y'all, look, I got my goat in today. Look, my goat here. She up there. That's our new mascot is the goat. So, so you said if it's a friend zone. So what about the friends with benefits zone? Yeah, people don't have a problem with that, huh?
No.
Really?
Nope.
So if I'm looking like, for like a relationship with you, I shouldn't have no issue with just being a friends with benefits?
No, I think some women prefer it too, especially if they just got a divorce, or it's like a lot of women get into those when they out of a bad relationship or divorce. So
they get into the friends with benefits zone.
Yeah.
Well, that's not a problem with that. I think what the issue is what are the signs that let you know somebody putting you versus the friend zone? And Langston said brothers put their own self in the friend zone. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. Women, I think by their standards, put men in the friends with benefits zone.
Yeah.
The only way a man can put himself in the friends with benefits zone is if a man says something stupid, puts himself in the friend zone. He says something stupid during the time when the relationship is going great. Okay, so we always say that that the problem with it is women don't tell men when they put them in the friends with benefits zone. Well, the friend zone. Let me take that back. Men are not going to tell you when we put you in the friend zone, the friends with benefits zone. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Okay, let's give you a little piece here. If me and you kicking it, we having us a good time. If a woman is not going forward with you past going out on dates, going out to eat, having phone conversations, you, my brother, have now been put in the friend zone.
Right.
Okay. So if it start off with interest and then it goes back to banality, as we call it, if it goes back to benign conversation, if it goes to just talking and stuff like that, going to tell me about the issues of your life, then you, sir, have now been put in the friend zone. And a lot of men blame men for that. Okay, I was listening to my boy Langston right here. A lot of men blame men for that, but it's not really true. A woman, let me say this, a woman knows where she wants to go with you when she meets you. Now, a man can do two things. A man can either talk himself into the friend zone, right? Yeah. Or a woman can sit around here if she's a shallow type person and decide after dating a guy, if he doesn't meet up to certain requirements, that she's going to put him in the friend zone. Okay. Now, when it comes to the friends with benefit zone, this is where women get put. And how do I say that? Women come in and it's a banality. It's not really a banality in the conversation. Men will sit around here and we'll take you out to eat. We'll go out and do things with you. But the relationship is not going past casual sex. And usually if you get to a point that you are in a place that you are doing 6 months with somebody and it's not going past just casual sex, you, young lady, have now been put officially in the friends with benefits zone.
Well, yeah, but a lot of guys, they kind of ease the women into there. Like, well, I'm not looking for nothing serious right now. Maybe in the future. They give a little glimpse of hope.
Well, that's called, well, you know what that's called? That's called gaslighting. We have a term for that. That's called the carrot and the stick routine.
All right.
And the reason why I think so many women get pulled into that friends with benefits zone is because a man can sit around here, or a person can sit around here and keep you moving for them if they feel you're interested enough in them. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. If they feel you're interested enough in them, they'll give you what is called the carrot and the stick. And the carrot and the stick is, well, I'm not really looking for nothing right now, but if you hold on just a little bit longer, I might decide to change my mind further on down the line. So when it boils down to is, what is it worth for you? You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's what it's worth to you. Do I like this person enough to sit around here and give them a chance to change their mind and decide, look, I'm going to go ahead and try to work this out and see where this is going. And usually the problem with that is if you get stuck in the friends with benefits zone, you never come out. It's kind of like the friend zone. When you get stuck in the friend zone, you never come out. You never come out. And that's the sad part about it all, is that with men, we don't really tell women. Now, I'm going to tell you what it'll give me to put a woman in the friends with benefits zone. And I remember I had this conversation with a friend of mine years ago. She was doing stuff like, okay, we come kick it, do our little thing. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Then she kind of disappeared for a while and then had me calling her. She's unavailable and stuff like that. So I sat around there and I told her, I said, let me tell you something. I said, that's why you never reach your girlfriend status. I said, because I can't really trust you. You're not consistent. So you know what she came up and she said back to me? She said, Django, let me tell you something. She said, you lying. She said, me and you been messing around for X amount of time. She said, you're not going to put me in the girlfriend mode because you're happy with the friends with benefit mode. I said, no, let me explain something to you. If you want to go to the girlfriend mode, it is going to take more than you just acting right for a month. You understand what I'm saying? It's going to take more than you just being available to me for a month. And then on Valentine's Day, you disappear. Or on my birthday, then you disappear. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Or on Christmas, you disappear. Because if you're not showing interest in me on those special days, you see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. If you're not going to be with me on those special days, then obviously you're giving your attention elsewhere. Now, I know on certain holidays, those are family days and stuff like that. But I believe in what I call the 72-hour rule. You know what the 72-hour rule is? If they ain't called you in 72 hours, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
That's what I consider. You get 3 days. 3 days. 3. 1, 2, 3. You get 3 days. If you haven't called me, contacted me, anything in between 3 days, We done. So my thing about it is you can't come and act like you interested in me for a month and then disappear for a month and a half and then come back and say, well, why you ain't putting me in the girlfriend zone? Because that's not the way it works. In order for you to get to that point with me that you want to show me that you really ready to be my lady, you got to show me consistent behavior. And some people are just good at being inconsistent. They consistent at being inconsistent. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm looking ahead at Langston. Let me see. The guy that doesn't know her but wants to get to know her but doesn't like rejection, so he pretends to care about your interests. He knows her interests. Boy, he's giving me a thesis here. Hold on a second. To hang out all the time. She keeps wanting to talk to you, hang out with you all the time, but wants nothing more from you. She tells you with her boyfriend, but gets back with him the very next day. And then my friend Tattoos here is talking about, but men been doing that to women since time immemorial. Nope, not true. Men have not been doing that. Men have not been doing that. Let me explain something to these women here. Women, I think, kind of get it kind of confused. The first person that gets hurt in their lifetime is a man. You know that, right? Okay. Mm-hmm. The first person that feels heartbreak in their lifetime is a man. And the reason why I say that is because men, we're naturally pursuers by nature. The first time a man gets hurt is when he's in high school. He goes for that girl that he really likes and he sees it from across the difference. You know how we used to do back in the days in school. You like me? Yes, no, maybe. Right? So he gets this, and usually men, we come into our own around high school. You know, we just raging hormones in junior high school. But we come into our own and really decide to have our first partially semi-serious relationship in high school, mm-hmm. around your sophomore year. But then you get that woman who don't pay you no mind. She sits around, she's nice to you. She'll even let you buy her lunch at school. You know, hey, I got 60 cents for you, boo. Hey, I go and buy your lunch. But then she's never interested in him. Okay? So the first heartbreak it comes from the man. That's the first person that gets their heart broken. Women don't usually get their heart broken at the junior high school level or the high school level because they're the ones that are being pursued. And usually they're being pursued by more than one man. Let me see what it is here. When a friend's my boy Yusuf, the problem is when a friends with benefit hasn't developed organically, the label doesn't fit. Maybe add pressure when it's intended to take pressure off. Okay. Well, I can go with that. I can go with that. And there's nothing wrong. I think what the issue is with women, what they don't understand why they get put into the friends with benefit zone is because men have seen an established level of cray. They have seen an established level of cray.
Yep.
Okay. Let me see. Langston is really. Look at this one. Mm-hmm. Somebody said their high school sweetheart broke my heart. Well, I am so sorry for you, boo. I hate that he did that to you. But heartbreak is you get your first heartbreak in high school usually. Mm-hmm. You know, that's your first heartbreak. I had my heart broken in high school from a girl I really liked and she wasn't paying me no mind. Let's see here. What did she say? Lord, Langston, I cannot read all this on the air, bro. I'll let you put it on there because he done typed out a whole thesis. Really worked hard. He's a great personality. Nothing wears a woman down more and long. Keep her around longer than a man who's fun. See, that's another problem. Standards. Do men have standards, friends?
Of course they do.
We do?
Yeah.
So you saying we want a woman that's 28, 36, 28?
Nah, as long as we attracted to her, though.
Yeah, and attraction comes in many forms, right?
Right. Uh-huh.
Now, I think men that have a lot of work, and see, that's the thing about women, I think, where we talk about being attractive can come in many forms. It doesn't always have to be physical attraction. One of the things I think that, especially as you get older, that's really attractive about a man or attractive about a woman is their conversation.
Right.
Nothing will turn you off more than a person that somebody look good, just a dingbat.
Exactly. Oof.
I'm just saying. These are things you learn with time. When you 18, 19, 20, nobody cares. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it is what it is. You know, you're just trying to get your hormones released, and that's what it is. Now, right. When we come, look at Langston gonna talk about just read my statement from bottom to top, and you'll understand. I believe in a ton of women will agree. Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. So, what we're talking about, Langston, let's go to the friends with benefits zone because I think that's one of the things that's more prevalent these days with men relationships because so many women talk about out here they're no good men. All men want to do is just have casual sex and not go any further.
Right.
So what puts a woman in a friends with benefits zone? Because women, their motives are really pretty clear about friends with benefits. Like you said, they're coming out of a bad relationship. They don't want, and men typically, we don't have a problem with that. We don't have a problem with a friends with benefits zone because you basically getting the milk without buying the cow.
Right.
So let me ask you a question. Have you ever had a point before you got married? Okay, so let's understand. Sam was a married man. Did you ever have a point where you had to put a woman in the friends with benefits zone because of something that you saw in her that wasn't attractive?
Yeah. Yeah, I had those moments to do. You know, so
Those moments. Oh, you was quite talkative today.
I had to put one because her ambition level wasn't high enough. You know, she was like, she really didn't want to do anything different with her life. So
Okay, so she had no motivation.
right.
She had no motivation.
No motivation.
But
so-
it didn't mean that just because there were certain things about her that didn't attract you to her,
Right.
that you were ready to throw out the baby with the bathwater.
Right,
There was
exactly.
something that she right, and I think that just like the old saying that just because you want to eat the burger doesn't mean you want to meet the cow.
Exactly.
But and I think that's where it's different from men, where it is with women when they put us in the friend zone versus us putting them in the friends with benefits zone. Is that just because a man may see things about you, he may see things about you that's not necessarily I don't know. Is she not wife material right now? I don't know. Is she not girlfriend material right now? But there may be something that's a physical connection between you guys that makes you decide to keep her around. Oh, my boy Andre McNair. Oh boy, he's a beautiful. He said when she shows that she's shallow, he said I'll hit it and not take it serious. and that I think is one of the biggest women downfall is that when. If a woman, like I said, if she knows she doesn't have a conversation, if
Right.
she shows that she is too much about tangible things instead of intangible things, that is for a man that's really got something on the ball. It don't work for me. It don't really work for me. I mean, she got to be able to stimulate me because I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm the kind of dude I'll get bored quick with you. I get bored real quick with you. Okay, Langston says, friends with benefit don't work for me. Someone always wants more, and if you put into a friends with benefit, I'll get good. Okay, let's just be real here when we're talking about this. Friends with benefits, people, friends with benefits have a time limit. We have talked about this 1,000
They
times
do,
on this
yep.
show. Friends with benefits have a time limit. They have an expiration date. They are not meant to go on really past 3 to 6 months. Friends with benefits are not. Now, I know some people sitting out listening like, hey, I done been friends with benefits people for years. Yes, that is an exception more than it's a rule. Okay?
Right.
You think I'm lying here? Talk to my goat right here. My goat will tell you. Okay? Friends with benefits have an expiration date because the more you engage in a friends with benefits relationship, the more you run the risk of either one person getting feelings or both people getting feelings. And when that friends with benefits relationship is over, when it is over, you're asking for a world of problems.
Yep.
You're risking drive-bys, you're risking stalkers, you're risking phone calls at the night, what you doing, why you don't call me. You see what I'm saying? And the biggest thing that amazes me, the biggest thing that amazes me is how people think they can continue on with friends with benefits relationships, and it don't go into a mess. And here's the thing, let's go and talk about this with friends, ladies. Let's talk about this with friends. When you put a man in the friend zone, if you choose to put a man in the friend zone, please do not sleep with him before you do it. Okay? If you decide that you want this dude, just to be your buddy, your hangout partner, your confidant, whatever you want him to be, do not sleep with him beforehand. Because if you sleep with him beforehand, you are risking jeopardizing your friendship. Now, if the sex is whack, then that's a caveat. Okay, that's a caveat. So, look at Miss Shady Boots inboxing to your new interest. See what I'm saying? It's always something around here. I'm telling y'all now. You see the goat? Look at the goat right here. The goat shines the disapproval, young lady, in your comment. So, when we talk about this, and we talk about the friend with benefits versus the friend zone, do you take a woman putting you in a friend zone? Let's say y'all been talking about 3 months. Do you take that as kind of a betrayal? If you really like her, do you kind of take that as a betrayal? I mean, ain't nothing you can do but move around, but
Not really. I mean, not really.
well,
She
I
do
think it's different if you don't really have that kind of interest. I think it just depends on how far it goes.
Right.
Because we have to understand the nature and the complications of human relationships is that
Right.
typically the more you talk and get to know somebody, the more you kind of tie yourself to them. You know, I mean, if you know, it's hard, I guess, to even have a friend that you talk to almost every day or every other day and talk to them for 5-6 years in a row, and then all of a sudden, you know, the conversation deceased, the communication deceased, y'all don't go hang out no more. It's kind of that, and human beings are made to be interacted. So when you really like somebody and they're your friend, it's kind of hard when they cut that communication thread off. So now with friends with benefits, oh boy. You know, I said my ex sent me a new love letter. It was straight. No, but in all seriousness though, you know, it just gets to a point that when we're doing the friends with benefits thing, I think that women get upset with men because that they realize that. Now, I'm sorry, ladies, and this is the truth. If you are not discerning these men before you get with them, you cannot get mad if you get put in the friends with benefits zone. And usually that's the best deal to know, to get to know them and get to know them intricately before that. You know, I'm going to tell you something. We had a post in the room and we were talking about people who are avid listeners. So this is going to be real interesting. One of the things I'm very wary of as a person that's an avid listener when I get to meet them. And I'm not saying it because I'm an avid listener, because I like to listen to what people say. So when they trip up over themselves, I'm like, oh, okay, didn't you tell me you said this? You have some people that there are two-pronged problems with an avid listener. Let me get my goat here. My goat kind of she getting antsy. So there are two types of people that are avid listeners. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on, Goaty. Let me get you. Okay, baby. There you go, baby. There you go. Get that off your horns there. Let me go and get you right there. There are two types of people that have avid listeners. There are people that play gotcha politics with who are avid listeners. There are people that use avid listeners so they can find a way to manipulate around you. Okay. So in other words, I tell people this all day. Don't call me and meet me and ask me what I do like. Okay. But if you want to know about me, come in and have a conversation with me about what I don't like. Because people will always try to listen to you so they can find a way to maneuver around you. Well, he told me he likes this and this and this and this. So what people will do, they'll go and put their representative into the place of what you told them you like. And that's how you end up getting into the friends with benefits zone. He said the benefit is sex. Well, who said this? Oh, that's my boy Yusuf. He's saying that.
No, he said
it's not an accurate description. Well, listen to. Didn't we have this conversation in the room about friends with benefits being an open relationship? Is that not what it is, in your opinion?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah.
Yeah, sort of. Sort of. And that's where the conversation becomes a problem, is when you get people who are in friends with benefits relationships, it becomes an open relationship, and that's why they never work out. It's not an accurate description. It's just sexual in nature, and that's partially true when it begins. That's not what it morphosizes into. And there's a reason why, like I said, friends with benefits relationships are not supposed to have the ongoing nonsense that it has, because it gets to a point that somebody going to develop feelings. Okay? Somebody going to develop feelings. Now, I hear Langston saying no with a bunch of explanation points. So what you trying to say, Langston? I'm like this. If you're in a relationship that's an open relationship, friends with benefits, think about it. Friends with benefits is an open relationship truly based on sex. And here's the biggest misnomer people make when they say it's not an open relationship. There's an argument that when you're friends with benefits, it's basically sex and there's no feelings involved. Wrong. Wrong. Okay? Friends with benefits, especially if it goes past a distance, obviously there's a mutual liking of sex. Okay? That's what it ends. That's what it is. It's a liking of sex if it goes on, because there's only so much conversation I can have with you at dinner time about what you did at work today. I don't care. Okay?
Right.
I don't care what you did at work today. I don't care about your boss beefing with you. I don't care about, you got stuck in traffic. I don't care about that. So my thing about it is that's why people, and I've seen some relationship posts that said, no, friends with benefits is not an open relationship, because there's an argument or an assumption. Come on, goat, stay with me now. Don't run off. There's an assumption that there are no feelings involved. And the longer you stay in a friends with benefits relationship, there will be feelings involved. And it ends when someone gets jealous. Or, Langston, if someone sits around here and changes the terms of the friends with benefits relationships. See what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that's why I don't believe in open relationships, because open relationships is saying, yeah, I'm committed to you, but I'm not committed to you. What? No. And here's another reason why friends with benefits can also be an open relationship, because people assume that you can't be in an exclusive friends with benefits relationship. You can't be in that. You do know that, right? You can be in a friends with benefits relationship and only sleep with that particular person, but not have a committed relationship.
Well, a lot of times people use friends with benefits just to do something, just to keep their needs met while
keep your needs met.
While somebody else, something better comes along, and then they'll cut that friends with benefits relationship off. So
right, and that's what the problem is. That's why I said it's a misnomer, because you can be with people in an exclusive friends with benefits relationship, and you don't have to be sleeping with nobody else. They don't have to be sleeping with nobody else. Right. Now, is it rare? Yeah, because people lie so much while they in them. Yeah, they lie so much. Oh, you're the only person I'm sleeping with. Really? So what happened to you Saturday night? That's our time. You know what I'm saying? So what happened to you Saturday night? Okay, your phone is off, and that's why I said there's a misnomer that it. And I'll say this: it's not an open relationship per se, but it's a type of an open relationship. Because there's no commitment. But people can make choices to do what they want to do inside a friends with benefits relationship. If I decide, hey, I'm not ready for a relationship right now, but you're the only woman I want to sleep with, we can do that. Now, it doesn't mean that you won't talk to other women or entertain other women, but you're not going to sleep with other women, or you're not going to sleep with other men. You know what I'm saying? That's why I think it's a big misunderstanding. So, oh Lord, did my thing freeze up? Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a break right quick, and then we're going to come back, because this is, like I said, friends with friends benefit. If you want to call in and tell us your take on it, because a lot of people are talking a lot today on this topic. 855-525-5683. Call us in and tell us what you think. Having issues with child support, traffic tickets, criminal matters, family, wills, estates, and probate matters? Call Jimmy C. Morris of the Morris Law Firm here in Little Rock, Arkansas, an aggressive powerhouse attorney that will fight for you. Call him 7 days a week from Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. and from Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Weekend appointments are also available. And also, check out Jimmy Morris on The Devil's Advocate once a month for our infamous Ask the Attorney segment, as he talks about social, political, and legal issues. Check him out, and his dedicated staff of professionals will fight for justice for you. Again, that's the Jimmy C. Morris Law Firm. His number is 501-319-7647. That's the Jimmy C. Morris Law Firm. His number is 501-319-7647. Call him.
Do you have a business, or are you looking to start a business? Do you need more customers and traffic to your website? Visit ourblackbusiness.com and sign up for free tips and strategies on how to grow or start your business. Our Black Business has free information on marketing, website design, website traffic, acquiring customers, affiliate programs, and so much more. All of our information is free of charge, so please visit ourblackbusiness.com today.
Because I have some people sitting around here talking to us today about, they're trying to give us their definition of friends with benefits, relationship, and friend zone. Because I'm really interested in the friend zone. I want to know, ladies, why y'all do that. I want to know why y'all do that. Why y'all jeopardize y'all friendships, having a friends with benefits, and then put a dude in both. Oh, wait a minute, got my feedback. Okay, then put both people in a friend zone, men in a friend zone, when you're sitting around here and you have relations. I guess that's women's prerogative. Is that what they call it? Did they change their mind? Ain't that interesting? Oh, and by the way, come on, Goat, stay with me here, baby. Come on, baby. Let me pat you on the head. There you go. Stay with me. I'm going to take a time to shout out Jimmy, one of our co-hosts, whenever I can get him from road tripping and being a worldly traveler. His birthday is today. I want to take time out to shout out to our counselor extraordinaire, Jimmy C. Morris. I know he out somewhere diving off a plane again. I saw him on Facebook the other day. Yeah, bro. You know, me and him, we go back to grad school, law school. I just want to take time to shout out to Jimmy. Today's his birthday, bro. Many happy returns, and hope you have many more. We got to get you back here on the show. I wish I could have had you today. I knew you was out of town. So, okay. So what time do we got here? What time we got here? Sample, let's see. Here's the time. Oh, sound like it's about trending time.
Yep. It's
Dave,
true.
you wanna chime in on anything on this before we go? You good? So, what do you do when you put somebody in friends with benefits? Let me stop.
I don't
You don't get
deal.
friends with benefits?
No.
I agree. I think at a certain age, you should stop having friends with benefits relationships. Don't you think?
I would think so, but yeah.
Yeah,
It's-
I think after.
I don't know. I heard when women get older, past 50, they prefer those.
they do. They do.
So
And why is that? Okay, well, hold on, ladies, tell us why when y'all get older do y'all prefer friends with benefits relationships? Aren't you supposed to be more settled when you get older? I know somebody gonna say I need me a man. I need me a man. I don't do that.
yeah. So,
But that's and that's the thing that's kind of interesting. Men, when we do grow up, we love friends with benefits when we're younger. Because we out here showing ours. But when we start getting broken down and get past the age of about 40, 45, we start wanting to be in serious relationships.
yep.
And we'll tolerate a friends with benefits relationship, but that's not what we really want. Now, you got some men out here, they don't care. They pimping to the 60s. they pimping to their 60s.
Yeah. I know a few. Some.
Yeah,
men
I
don't
know
wanna-
some dudes just ain't gonna grow up out of that.
Yep.
They're not gonna grow up out of that. They just, they want the freedom, and I think a lot of it comes from because a lot of women have went through their first marriage, or first divorce, or second marriage, or whatever, and they get. Hold on, we got a phone call. Yes, this is Django. You're calling Devil's Advocate. I got a motto: put it where the goat can get it.
I don't even want to address that comment at all.
What's going on, Stanley? How you doing, bro?
I
Talk
was
to me
doing
today.
great till you gave me that visual about the goat.
Well, I
That
got the
was
goat
just a
up
little
here.
much.
It's on my shoulders. She kind of sexy. Got them little horns. She looking at
All righty then.
everybody. Alrighty then. So what's going on, bro? What's popping? Talk to us. We were talking about the friend versus friend with benefits. Did I bring this here? I sure did. We gonna get ready to get trended, but do you want to hit on this topic before we go into that?
Friends versus friends with benefits.
Yeah, women. I think women put men in the friend zone. Men put women in the friend with benefit zone. When we find out
I
that
got
something-
Obamacare. I have no comment. I just think that. Well, I do have a little bit.
You have
I
a little
think
bit.
that
Okay, go.
Black Panther reminds us that there's a lot of ladies out here chasing their Killmonger.
Yeah.
And, when you got a chance to get with T'Challa, you don't think he cooked it up until he drink the magic sauce. So, hey, it's whatever.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Eric Bedmonger. Yeah, he boy, that boy was OG. So talk to us, man. What's going on in the country this week? I mean, of course, it's another crazy week in reality show of America. What's been going on, bro?
I'm just peeping how Trump is like, can I say pissing off on Christian radio?
Yeah, you can say that.
I guess I should.
I think I said a lot worse, but
I just think it's cool how Trump is pissing off his own people, man. Like if you look at some of the early poll returns, like it's getting real blue out here.
yeah, and that is something that has really not made news. Democrats are taking back massive gains in state legislatures.
Even in Texas, man.
In
That's
Texas,
really shocking.
Ted Cruz's seat is in trouble.
Yeah, but we'll see.
Yeah, we
We got to just keep the momentum. We'll see.
Well, one thing I found out about Republicans is that when they get embarrassed, they tend to stay away from the polls. Remember, they did that with Bush. That's how Democrats ended up taking back the Senate and the House back in 06. They just stay away from the polls. When they know they've made a bad choice and they've elected a buffoon, they get quiet. And the thing about it is they'll support him vocally, but they'll stay away from the polls.
Yeah, and I don't recall them never not electing a buffoon. I got to do a little research. I might need to holler at Super Dave about that.
Yeah, you
but,
might want to holler at Super Dave. But did you see what George Bush said? This was interesting. They had a quote saying that Trump made him look good. Now that's kind of bad. When Trump makes you look good, your presidency look good, and that's only what, a year in, a year and a half in.
Yeah, and the only thing I remember about Bush, I remember getting them little rebate checks. It was the stimulus package was pretty cool.
Right. That little $600. I needed.
Oh, I tell you what, I did see this trending, and I'm praying for it. And I need Dave to find me an attorney. Did y'all see they're talking about letting bankruptcy be student loans be allowed in bankruptcy?
From your ears, the guys. Let me tell you something. Okay, they had, and I don't know, was that a Republican that put that out, or was just a?
I
he
don't
was
know
nonpartisan.
who put it out, but whoever they
did it,
they
need to elect him.
I will swing the ballot.
Thank you. He said that in order to save the economy of this country, we need to forgive all student loan debt.
Amen.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah.
And ancestors.
That would immediately put me in a Bentley and a new
Thank
house.
you. Thank you. If I get some of these law school loans off me, boy, my goat fell. Look at my goat, didn't even believe it. She just fell off the shoulder. Yes, Nanny. We're gonna come on back here, boo. Come on back here. There you go. Get on back there. She fell off her rocker when she heard that.
Discharge that student loan debt.
Yeah.
Like that's, and honestly, I think everybody considers bankruptcy at some point in life.
Right.
But for me, that was, why I was unable to go through with it, because that's the only real debt I really got.
Right. And that's lean. My ex, one time, I'll never forget, she went and sat down with me, and she was she was good at financial planning. Yeah, I think you know this person, Stanley, but this is what it is. She said, I'm looking at your bill. She said, you don't have any debt except your student loan. She said, you have no debt. And I had worked on paying off all my little minor debts, car note, all that little stuff, little hospital bills, when you was younger and before Obamacare kicked in, and you didn't pay that little $59 at the hospital.
All right, now it's $250,000.
Yeah, thank you. But I didn't have any debt. And I'm like, shoot, if I can get my student loan debt or even just half of my student loan debt forgiven, my credit will probably jump up 150 points overnight. I'll be right at over.
Everybody's will.
Everybody's will.
And honestly, that would truly stimulate the economy, because I know a lot of I don't want to say black folks, but a lot of people would immediately go out and purchase a new car.
Right.
So that would probably help GM quite a bit.
Yep.
And then I'm sure the Dow would grow tremendously because of other franchises benefiting from it as well.
Right.
Your boy can talk like that though. See, I be flipping. Never mind. I don't want to.
See, that's what I'm talking about. We're the sane people in this country. That's what I want to know. And of course, Bernie Sanders was talking about. He was talking about we need to have affordable college. No, think about it. Before the 70s, college was pretty much free.
Correct. And I think that colleges, I think that, if you're going to discharge that debt tied to public service or something, like make it so that, because I get it, everybody's in business, so I get that some people can't just discharge trillions of dollars.
Right.
But if you're a public servant, like myself, you definitely should have the option to have that debt. I mean, because they're going to dismiss, after 10 years of payments, they're going to dismiss it anyway. So just go ahead and let everybody else pay 10 years and go and discharge public service.
Right, because most of it's interest anyway. So, Dave, do you have some talk on this? Because that's interesting. I loved when I saw that post. I'm like, boy, if they could only do it. But the money's going to fight it anyway. The banks are.
So let me just put it this way for you all. I hate to be a wet blanket.
Oh, God, here you go.
But yesterday, 57, I believe, House of Representative Democrats voted to kill the Dodd-Frank bill legislation.
Yeah.
So what I mean by that is that was a bill designed to regulate banks,
right.
And part of the reason that you all are in your student debt crises.
Right.
Now that bill has been killed and there's no regulation, what planet y'all on? Okay, do y'all actually think that they will actually discharge your debt? Those banks.
I need to
no.
Hold on,
no.
Dave, I need the name of the because I know one that did it, and he was complaining. That was John Tester, and I hate it because he was such a darling of the Democrat Party during John Kerry and Obama. He came out. He was if those that don't know, he was the hillbilly from Montana, and he came out in support of Obama, one of the first Democrats that came out in support of Obama in 2008. And he was the darling of the Democratic Party during those years. And he was one of the people that wanted to sponsor killing, talking about the banks in Montana can't, talking about there being over. I'm like, really, they can't compete. The small banks can't compete because of Dodd-Frank and the regulation.
Well, the bottom line is they're not going to let you. The reason they're not including it is because that's money from their fat cat donors,
Right.
which are the banks.
Right.
Okay, so that's a pipe dream, folks. I hate to be the wet blanket here, but that's a pipe dream.
No, I
It's
mean,
not going to happen.
Right. And I'm not saying it was proposed. Now, proposing and putting it
It
in
wasn't
action-
even proposed. It was done by an economist
Right.
who said this should be done.
Right.
No one in Congress proposed that.
No, nobody in Congress
Okay,
proposed it because, of course,
so-
they're not going to propose. But what Stanley, I think, is trying to say is that if we could put that into action, that would stimulate the economy because we believe he has a point. What is hurting the American public more than anything, especially working class people, is the amount of student loan debt they are saddled with that they never get out of. Think about it. Obama said I was president, basically a candidate, before I paid off all my law school loans.
Wow.
He said I was basically a candidate by the time I got all my law school loans paid off.
Man.
And that's because he probably paid it off with a lot of those, those donation stuff he was getting toward his campaign. Like, let me go and pay this off and get this from under my neck. So my thing about it is, I agree with you. We got people out here. That have 4-year college degrees that can't even get a job in the field that they're in. And then if they can get a job in the field they're in, they don't pay nothing. I remember, Stanley, back in the day. Now, you're a young buck, so I'm going to put it out here for you. Whoa, don't fall over. It's okay, baby. We gonna get my goat up there. Okay, there you go, sweetie. Just stay right there.
Oh my.
Yeah, she all on my shoulder today, trying to give me a hug. So, I remember back in the 80s, when you came out of college in the 80s, a bachelor's degree paid you $40,000 starting. That's what people would brag about. Man, I went to college because that was, the goat is falling off. Yes, that's what they paid, baby. That's what they paid. She falling off my thing. She didn't believe that. And what happened was, in the 80s, you could get $40,000 coming out the top. Now, think about what the cost of inflation was in the 80s in the Reagan era and now.
Right.
Now, you get a bachelor's degree, you won't even start off at $30,000. That's why I went back to school after I got out of college and went and got my master's degree. And then after I got my master's degree, I went and got my law degree. Okay.
And that's why I started dancing at the ladies' club so I could make.
Thank you. I had to do all, man. Look here. I was grad school, boy. I was doing something strange for a piece of change. I was trying to make them holler for $1, and I was going to actually get some luck for $1. So I'm just saying.
I was paying some change to do something. Oh, I gotta go. My phone finna die. Y'all have a happy Easter, and I'll talk to y'all in November.
Okay. All right. Anything else you want to say before you go? See that? Bomber phone. See what I'm saying? Let's take up a donation, get that brother an Android sometime this week. But thank you, Stanley, for calling. So, on a more serious note, and I talked about that because, of course, I know people get him and hung. We talked about Bernie Sanders. He also made that part of his platform in 2016 and 15 was about student loan debt sinking the working class. And I agree. I mean, don't get it twisted. The first argument is going to be made where people are going to college. Now they don't want to pay back their debt. They want a free ride. Well, before 40 years ago, college was free. You could go. People came out of even when college started charging tuition, it was very low. It was very low. People were coming out of college with $5,000 in student loan debt. That was it. Now people running around here with $50,000 of student loan debt. People running around here with $100,000 of student loan debt. So you're going to work 20, 30. Now add that in when you get out of school. Let's say you get a master's degree, because you need a master's degree to even say something nowadays. A bachelor's degree is like a high school diploma. You walk around here now with a high school, with a bachelor's degree, you making $30,000 a year, unless you're smart enough to go into a field like engineering. You see what I'm saying? A nursing or something like that. And everybody's not made to be an engineer. Okay, everybody's not made to be a mathematician, physicist. So let's just go here. So now you're getting out of college. You want to start your first house, but you can't afford a mortgage, right? It's because you don't make enough. You make enough just to get you a nice little piece of car and pay and start your student loans are kicking in 6 months after you graduate. So most people are doing what they're doing. They sitting around here deferring it and forbearing it so they can wait for a job that's going to either pay them more or they're going to have to go back to school to get another degree that's going to add more debt to them. So most people nowadays are getting master's degrees, which is probably about another $20,000 more in student loan debt at interest. And you know what the median salary for a master's degree is nowadays? $55,000.
Whoa.
Are you serious? Are you serious? Unless, again, you're an engineer or you're a business major, you get an MBA. You might get lucky. That's the median salary for a master's degree is $55,000 a year. $55,000 a year, that's what I eat for lunch. I mean,
let me ask you a question, just quickly. So, you don't have to give me a ballpark figure, but how much a month is the average student loan that you pay?
Based on my 3 degrees, I would say almost $1,000.
$1,000 a month. So you're basically spending $12,000 a year to pay student loans.
Right.
Okay. Now, I don't begrudge that you have those
Right.
loans. That think about it. What if you were taking that $12,000 a year and investing it in your own business? Get my point?
Right.
You all get my point?
I get your point.
So the racket is that we make you pay all this money to get the education, yet there are no jobs to support that education, yet you are still in debt.
Right.
If you flip the switch and say, hey, okay, instead of taking that money and investing in education where I can't get hired based on my degree, why don't I take this money and invest in my own business?
Well, you know, that was another conversation we had about why they're so willing to give student loan money, basically without any type of credit check or background check. You know, it's basically an open door lender, but they won't give us money for open our own small business.
That's the point.
And let's get
That's exactly where I'm headed.
Right,
Well, that's because the government guarantees it.
Guarantees it, right.
I mean, most people, it's hard. A business is hard, so a lot of businesses fail. So that's why banks don't.
So, but wait a minute. How many? What's the problem right now with student loans? Is that look in Arkansas alone? Arkansas is 47th in the nation on defaulting student loans.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Okay.
And you know what it is? It's not because the colleges here charge so much. It's because there's no money here.
There are no jobs to support
them.
it.
There's no job. Unless you're a Walton or the Stevens, or you work for the Rose Law Firm, there's no money here. There's a big stratification in this state between people that have money and people that do not.
But to your point, that's what I'm saying. So if they're defaulting on government loans, I mean, look, they just bailed out the housing industry. Why can't they bail out people?
Right.
You see, so for a bank to say, oh, well, it's a business, it's risky, but it's okay for you, don't you think that a college loan is risky to an 18-year-old? Yeah, it is. But they still do it. That's my point. Is that it's the old 3-card Molly.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Where they say, "Oh, you need a degree in order for you to make money."
Right.
Don't worry about a business when they don't tell you that small businesses is the engine of America.
Right.
All right. So, but you need that degree. So, you can't afford it. Oh, well, we'll give you some money.
Right.
To do that.
Right.
But we won't guarantee that you'll get a job. That's 3-card Molly, dude. But you got to pay for it. You got to start paying 6 months after you stop school.
Assuming that you can get a job 6 months.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So instead of them saying, okay, look, to your point, let's take this money and let's do some government-backed small business loans. Yes, some are going to fall, but that's going to build the economy. That's going to continue to grow the economy. Let's say 50% of them fail. That's a lot. That's 1 out of 2. But what about the 50% that succeed?
Right.
That go on to grow, hire, develop, create stock, all of those things.
Right.
It's 3-card Molly, folks, and that's why I never got loans. Okay, I'm proud of myself. I never got any of those student loans. My son is about to pay off his in December. He only got $10,000 worth.
Well, I'm proud of my son. My son didn't get any. He got a
free
free ride.
Because you come out of school immediately in debt.
Immediately in debt.
I mean, I don't understand that concept.
Well, Dave, what it is the capitalist system. Is anything you can make money on, you will.
Oh, I know.
If they could make money on running water, they will make it. And this is what happens.
But that don't mean you have to allow them to make money on you.
I understand.
You see, and we fall because I would tell my son, my daughter's opposite. My daughter, she's got a master's degree in clinical psychology. She's going for a PhD. She's paying all that money, but man, she's stressing because she owes all this money
Right.
for this debt. Whereas my son says, Dad, I'll be through paying my loans in December.
Well, and I'm
It's
gonna
a
tell you
difference.
something. A lot of my friends that I went to law school, that's one of the biggest problems they tell me. They said, man,
Right.
they sitting around here working to death in law firms because now they sitting around here out of school. They went to prestigious law school, got nice jobs, but guess what? They said it was 6-figure student loan debt. And
That's
they
what
trying
I'm
to pay
saying.
back, and they working themselves into an early grave trying to pay back those debts.
That to me, that's lunacy. That's pure lunacy to me. But I that's the thing to do. And then you hear people bragging about, oh, God, well, I got X amount of dollars on my loans. Really?
Really? Who brags about that?
You hear people talking about. I'm like,
Yeah.
come on, folks.
I've
I
heard.
mean, that mentality has got to stop.
That's about as bad as people saying they spend $600 for a pair of sneakers. That's
Exactly.
Yeah, I
That
don't-
that mentality is particularly in our community. Because think about it. I posted a piece just the other day. Well, it's on my Facebook page. And let me just go and read the headlines. It is about black education. We are the most, did y'all know that black people are the most educated minority the most educated people in this country? African American college graduation rates hits all-time high, but economic outcomes lag. See what I just said?
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
Well,
So we got all these smart people,
Right.
but we're still lagging behind economically. Does that tell you something?
Well, yeah, and you know there are plenty of reasons for that. We can start with systemic racism.
No. It's even before that. Is that, see, our people told us, because our ancestors couldn't go to school,
Right.
Right.
they said, hey, what was their goal? Girl, you got to get that degree.
Yep.
Boy, get that degree.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So you see our people flocking to college, getting all these degrees with no practical application. What good is a piece of paper if you can't use it?
Yeah, that's
Right.
true.
You see what I'm saying?
Toilet paper.
You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I got the degree. Now what? Oh, I work for the city. But then don't you have an engineering degree?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
But
work
I
for the
talked
city.
about that, and then
Yeah.
think about it. Let's just be real. With the way jobs are, you got the systemic racism part. Now you get down here, you get a job, and you're not economically viable. Remember
I'm
that.
simply saying that the mentality that we are putting in our children is that
Yeah.
go to school so you can work for someone else, instead of putting the mentality in our children to say go to school so you can make jobs and someone can work for you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Hold on, I gotta answer this because this is something. A business
My
loan
grandfather
is more
put that in
risky.
me.
This is my friend here. She talking about a business loan is more risky than a student loan. But see, here's one thing
Yeah.
people don't understand with that. A business loan, if you don't pay that loan, you can liquidate your business assets. That's the,
How is a business loan more riskier than a student loan?
I'm
Well,
just talking about what
businesses, a lot of banks, they want you to be in business first, though. So if you start small, when I started my business years ago, I just took money out of my 401k and then I.
So you
built
had
it up.
collateral, right?
Yeah.
A student loan, you don't have to have collateral.
Nope.
Okay, so as you were saying, if that loan goes belly up, at least they can come take some property.
Right.
With a student loan, they can't do anything.
Okay.
No, they'll take your taxes.
Who wrote that?
Yeah, they'll take
Come
your
on.
taxes.
Yeah, they'll take your taxes. They'll take your taxes.
But that's it.
Forever.
Yeah.
Forever. And you're right, but that's my point. With a business, let's say I have a restaurant. If that restaurant fails, you got to do 5 years typically before you start really seeing profit. If that business fails and I took out a $50,000 business loan, I can liquidate
That's true.
my business. I
Yep.
can liquidate the refrigerators, the stove, all that stuff can get sold at auction to pay back that loan.
That's true.
Because
Yep.
the debtor gets it back first.
And not only that, I can go bankrupt and reorganize
Thank
and
you.
Right.
rebuild that business.
Exactly. Yep.
So I don't know who would say that a student loan, a business loan, is riskier than a student loan. There's no collateral. I mean, you just continue to sign. Here, just how much I need this semester. Okay.
Yeah.
Find your life away.
It is the most ludicrous form of loaning that I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
It just really is, and it's all about suckering people in to getting in debt and being in the situation that many Americans are today as it relates to their loans, student loans, and then they capture you where they say, "Oh, You can't go to bankruptcy and get rid of them and retire those
can.
loans.
Now that is the biggest
Right.
racket. in
You
my
see what I'm saying?
Bankruptcy.
I told you this is 3-card Molly, dude.
Yep.
Y'all hadn't figured this
That's
out.
a racket.
Now, I'm not begrudging anyone who goes to school and get these loans. If that's what you want to look. My daughter did it. My son did it to some extent, but my daughter didn't listen. My son did. All right. But my point being is this: is at some point we got to start using our knowledge to build businesses in our communities, because that's what's gonna save us.
Right.
We got plenty of degrees. We're not using the degrees.
Right.
All right. And you say, well, oh, that's because they won't hire us. Well, you know what? If I was the majority, I wouldn't hire you either. Woo! Did you hear that?
Speaking of the majority, did you see the colonizer that was the teacher? And I really hate that I didn't get Stanley on with this, and I know we only got a few minutes left. Did you see the colonizer that had the racist white supremacist podcast?
Yes.
Oh, yes, gosh. Yep.
Talking about black people don't deserve education. You can't give a Swedish student and a black student the same type of education. I'm like, what the hell? And this is a young woman. And see, this is what I keep trying to tell people. This is what I tell you. Dimitri, I had to hit that point again on the next time. So we going. He said, what about people that can't afford school? So you can go to trade school.
Exactly.
But we going.
I don't know any broke mechanics.
Okay.
Right.
Did you hear what I just said?
Okay.
Me neither.
I don't know.
Plumbers.
I don't know any broke plumbers, electricians. I don't know any broke computer technicians. Do you? Okay. So if you got a trade, you will. By the way, I'm a computer tech. I'm just saying.
Okay. We gonna,
So,
I don't know any broke carpenters or plumbers either.
And,
But anyway,
exactly.
Okay, but let's go here.
Contractors.
All welders.
Yeah.
But let's go here. She sat around here and put this podcast out, and see, this is what I keep trying to tell people. People keep having this notion that racism is going to die off. The old blood is dying off. Trust me, they got a new generation of new blood. This alt-right that's coming. So people, be careful of your kids. We definitely don't want kids, teachers in our schools armed with that type of nonsense coming around. Because they already, watch what your child is being fed in school. And watch what these teachers are saying. And if they sitting around here and they coming around here with this nonsense, get them out of there. Because they don't need to teach. Boy, I'm tired of it. But we're going to hit this again next week because I ain't got it. My goat. Where my goat? Here you go. I know. You believe this? No, I don't believe that, Django. You believe this? Yeah. So we getting ready to go. Thank you guys for another great show. We will be hitting you guys up next week. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Thank everybody for supporting us. We're still working on, if you got what it takes, we need us another female co-host up here. Let's see if you got what it takes. And we will see you guys again next Friday. Same bat time, same bat channel. And don't forget, can't stand the heat.
Get out of Hell's Kitchen.
There you go. We out, folks.